Hello everybody and welcome to this week's Markets to Watch from Smack the Markets for week commencing the 19th of August. So typical sort of summer markets that we have at the moment, fairly light news days, and today is certainly one of those very light news days with not a great deal on the fundamental calendar. But equally at the moment we have so much more other sort of concerns that are going on that the markets are focusing on outside of that normal fundamental releases. Not to mention sort of China, the Iran tensions, and also, of course, Brexit as well, on top of bond yields with the concern of a slowing economy and world recessions forthcoming. So quite a bit there that's going on that are possibly going to be shaping the market conditions going over the next 6 months to longer. So let's take a look at a few markets here that we're keeping a close eye on in the trading room for this week. Now, if we come and have a look at the Dow Jones here, this is the Dow Jones future. We can see that, well, after the markets have taken quite a dive over the past week, we've seen quite an uplift over the past sort of 3 trading sessions. You can see the amount of volatility that's been going on here, and this is just sort of a good example of what we're seeing through multiple different sort of markets and asset classes at the moment. And a lot of this is being created by sort of fears of global recessions, fears of trade wars, prolonged trade wars, that is, and kind of having an impact here on the longer term trends. So what we're doing is we're focusing on more intraday opportunities for these types of markets and trying to pick out our trades, but actually book those on sort of fairly tight targets. And in that case, not holding trades open for too long overnight. Now, if we take a look at the Dow here, you can see that we've had a very sort of strong move to the long side over the past sort of 3 trading sessions. Importantly, the market closed last week on a bullish note. So I think if this market had rolled over, if it had taken out the sort of 25 800 or even the 25 sort of 500, that would have been extremely sort of bearish. But traders were willing to hold positions over the weekend. At the moment, we've sort of still seeing an uplift here on stocks. They're sort of bullish this morning, and I think as long as this continues, we can be looking for trading conditions, bullish trading conditions up to 26,200. Getting above that 26,200 zone, we've got another sort of area up here around sort of 26, sort of like 26 sort of 350 to 400 with these highs, and then that 26,500 sort of target area. So we'll be looking at opportunities long on these markets up to those sorts of areas. The opportunities are really going to be on intraday timeframes. If we come down to the lower timeframes here, you can see that we've got some pretty good trend structure on these sort of 60-minute timeframes and lower. And this is where we sort of see the opportunities really intraday on the Dow at the moment, moving up towards those sort of target levels that we've just mentioned. Now, if we come and take a look at our commodities, the commodity that I think is looking sort of most interesting this week is oil. The metals are looking a little bit, although some metals are retracing a little bit at the moment, and we expect there to be a bit of retracement back in to the sort of moving average zone and into a couple of key levels on the daily timeframes. But oil here looks a little bit more closer for some intraday plays here. From these higher timeframes, the market does look rather sort of messy. You know, we've had, again, a lot of volatility on these markets, and the trend structures on the higher timeframes not looking quite so clean. If we come and have a look at this on the 8-hour chart, though, we can see that there's quite a decent sort of structure level around this sort of 55.5 level here. You can see it's been previous sort of key support and resistance a number of times. On the lower timeframes, this market's in a bull trend. It's in a long trend at the moment. So we're keeping an eye on this area here for opportunities above it. So we want to see the market above this sort of 55.60 level. If you can get above there, then we're looking for moves up here towards the sort of recent highs up here towards that sort of 56 sort of 70 area, where we've had sort of, again, previous support and resistance again, and that's the sort of trading opportunity that we're looking for here on oil. Again, if we come down to the lower time frames, we've got some pretty good trend structure, the type of trend structure that we like to look for intraday opportunities on. Then if we come and take a look at Forex markets, Forex markets are again suffering with the volatility over sort of recent days, but one that is looking a little bit more consistent over and above a lot of the others is the Kiwi dollar. So taking a look at Kiwi dollar, this market has been in a short trend here. It's broken through a sort of significant structure point here on the sort of weekly chart, and as you can see, well, it's pretty much in sort of clear space underneath price. It hasn't sort of picked up a great deal of momentum over the sort of past few weeks, and it is sort of kind of sitting around. It's sort of consolidating around the sort of lows where it is. You can see that a little bit more clearly here on the sort of daily chart. Now, the thing that I like about this is the fact that the market has made a new low. It's tested a new low. It's then sort of retraced, and then we've just got this sort of continuing weakening here in price action. So I'm looking for opportunities here. If this market sort of breaks to the short side, we may well sort of pick up some momentum on this market, and it may well sort of get a bit of a protracted move. If we come down to the sort of 4-hour time frame, you can kind of see this price action a little bit more clearer. You can see that we've got a level through here around that sort of 64,200 area, where the market sort of found support a number of times, and in the same time it's been finding support here, it's been finding lower highs, and the market's just broken underneath there at the moment. So it's just broken under, pulled back into this level that's been support, likely to become an area of resistance at the moment. And again, if this weakens off, then again, you know, we're looking for opportunities short, and this could be sort of an interesting area to get sort of positioned for that. So Kiwi dollar short on the sort of intraday to mid time frames is the sort of opportunity that we're looking at going into the first half of this week. So there's a few opportunities there that we're keeping an eye on in the trading room, and I certainly hope it helps, and look forward to speaking to you next time. Bye for now.